Y'all know what time it is. It is showtime. I am the host, Sidell B. I go live each and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like clockwork. Tonight, I have my special guest, Adam, with two D's. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring Adam to the stage.
Hey,
Hello, my
Sidell.
brother.
Hey.
Hey, Adam. Good to see you. Good to see you. Long time no see, actually. How you
Oh
been
yeah.
doing? How
I
you
mean,
been doing?
good. Sorry. Let me close the door because it's getting
Okay.
I can hear this from the side.
Okay, sounds good. So y'all know I go live each and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So set your notifications. You can follow me on Facebook on the Let's Talk About It podcast, or you can set your notifications and subscribe on the YouTube on the Let's Talk About It podcast live interview. So right now, without further ado, Adam, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are and where you're from and what you do.
Oh my God. So first off, I love the fact that you're doing this podcast, and it's really awesome to be involved with you in something again. I missed you greatly. I want to see you again. But as far as me, R&B Latin artist from the DMV area, born and raised in Maryland back as a child, but Woodbridge, Virginia, most of my life. So yeah.
Sounds good. I see my moderator just jumped into the room. Welcome, welcome. We got three rules when you join this podcast. Three rules. We don't ask for much. We ask for you to please like, share, and comment, interact, ask Adam any kind of questions. But sharing is on top of the list because sharing is caring and sharing is free. And this is how the people get their names out. This is how you can start following them. So follow Adam. This is how people get to know who they are and what they do. I do this for a particular reason. I want everybody to know that if they could do it, you could do it too. So,
Absolutely.
without further ado, right, Adam? Ain't that true?
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
Adam, little backstory. Me and Adam, we met. I was kind of like working, managing Seth's group. And I got to actually meet Adam in person when my dad was living. We went down to Washington, and Adam is just so sweet in person as he is online. Let everybody know how long you've been singing.
So it's funny because realistically it's kind of I want to say how long I've been singing, but I kind of want to go back. I started off as a dancer, and then I
Mm,
got singing um like around like 2012 ish is when I really wanted to get into it. So probably at this point like 12 years I've been
okay.
singing my craft.
That's good. Now I know you personally, so a lot of people might not know, but you actually tell everybody how you kind of like. I think it's a genius way to do it to practice how to catch the rhythm and how to get your soul and everything like that. But tell
Right.
everybody what you did.
Okay, so there's a variety of different things. I mean, you kind of have seen my evolution, how I started, and let's just be honest, we all have to start somewhere. So, as
That's
far
right.
as like getting my ropes to getting to where I felt like I started making progress, it was like obviously I went through different vocal coaches, of course, but then, you listen to your influences. But really was the church, and I think that when you go sing in a Baptist church, it kind of like can really loosen you up and really find your voice when you have to be because when you do those back-to-back services, you have to really be on point with your vocals.
That's
So it
right.
really like, and then there's different things like elements to it where you sing with different groups of the church and different things like that, so you can make sure you got the harmonies right and things like that. So it kind of builds you up to be a better artist. In my opinion, that's why a lot of the greats, yours being Fantasia, one of your favorites,
That's
she
my
has
sister in spirit.
background.
Shout
Yeah,
out to Fantasia.
right. So but she has her background with the church. So like a
That's
lot of
right.
these artists. So yeah, that's kind of like what really I guess helped me more than anything. Because if it really
Hmm.
wasn't for the church, I don't think I would be able to be as far along as I came. To be honest.
Right, because that church vibe helped you to harmonize. It helped you to find like it because practice makes perfect. And
Hmm.
sometimes we can start off a little rocky, but I believe, even though you was doing vocal coaches and stuff, I think when you found your little groove and you found like your whole voice, who Adam is when you did join the church. And that allowed
Yes.
you to be shy and things of that nature and stay, with the rhythm. That's what I'm just saying.
Right.
Helped you out a lot. And kudos to you for your new song that just came
Thank
out. So let everybody know what's this. What? Okay, so first, Adam, you speak fluent Spanish, right?
I actually don't. So if you remember the artist back in the day, Selena Quintanilla, she was the artist that was alive. You know, Queen of
Selena.
Tejana. Like, yeah, Selena. So basically, she didn't really speak Spanish, but she learned to sing it in another language. So my writer, his name is Joshua Rodriguez. Mostly the stuff I work on with him, he taught me how to sing in another language.
That's dope.
And so obviously not speaking another language, it does make learning to sing challenging, but unlike when you're speaking the language, you don't actually have to it's not like you're learning different masculine feminine. You write it one way, that's how you sing it.
Mm-hmm.
um, but as far as the song itself, it's called Contigo. I'm featured on the record. It's 50% me, 50% him, and it's like an electronic. You try different things that you want to see what works. But being like an electronic track, I wanted to have something that could be played in the clubs for once,
Mm-hmm.
like because most of my songs are really great, but they kind of cater to a specific audience, and it's kind of like for once I wanted to have a song that could be played like everywhere.
That's right. That's right.
So that's
I
kind
think that most of the songs was more like slow, like love stuff.
of
I
yeah.
listened to it. I thought it was all you. I didn't know it was somebody else on there.
No, we have very similar voices.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you threw me off when you just said that, so I'll go back and listen to it again, but maybe I have to
Right.
pick up where you. So that just really just mentions kudos to you
Yeah.
because I did not know it was two of you on there. Now, what is
Right.
the actual words to what you're singing?
Well, so like as far as obviously the English stuff is self-explanatory. It's kind of like the song Contigo in Spanish. Contigo means like with me. It's
Mm,
kind of like you kind of it's like through the night. If you even if you go through a simple Google Translate, it gives you a general idea. But it's kind of like through the night, you're with someone, you want to dance with them, you meet them on the dance floor and things like that. It's kind of like the kind of dancing all night with that person that you really are down to get to know in the club. So it's kind of
right.
like the general idea of the lyrics in Spanish. But and I actually was going to mention something about the song because even my EP when I put it out,
Mm-hmm.
um, they were all in Spanish. I had one English version of one of my tracks, but it was like I wanted to find a way I could mix both, best of both worlds. So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of like did, and no one's really doing English and Spanish tracks these days. So I was like, I feel like there's an open market, and I feel like it's great because it's in two languages. The song you can play it literally anywhere. I mean, like you can play it on American stations, you can play it in Spanish stations because it got that best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm. Now, what platforms is it on?
It's on all digital platforms, iTunes or Apple Music. It's on Spotify. I believe it's on Amazon Music.
Mm,
And all like the TikToks and all that stuff, where if you put it in videos. And I
mm.
actually recently had someone do a dance challenge to it, so I posted it there so they can
Well,
you
that's
can
dope.
yeah. So I wanted to do this thing called the Contigo challenge. Is basically it's the chorus part of the song, which is the
Mm-hmm.
really high energy part of the song, and you
Mm-hmm.
can like hip hop choreography, Latin choreography, and
Mm-hmm.
just but as far as where you can get it like everywhere pretty much.
Right. So they basically like on the song,
Oh, what did you
they
say?
like holding hands and doing all that. You know.
No, well, not with the dance, not with the first set of dancers, because I went to Japan
Mm-hmm.
recently, and I met this. Oh, I
Oh,
didn't meet them, but I'll get into that. We can get into that. But I went to Tokyo, and I because I'm in the area. You're on social media. You pick up people in the area will pick it up, and when you're posting stuff. So a dancer from there, they weren't holding hands. It was like their dance group that they had, and it was cheap. It was like $30 for 30 seconds, and that's perfect for the chorus. So yeah, no, they were kind of doing their cool like hip hop
yeah.
style of choreography with the song, and it looked really cool. So
I
I like,
think I saw that. I saw that.
yeah. So that's why I was like, I really wanted to capitalize on the whole dance craze. All these artists do these dance challenges.
Mm-hmm.
How 365 Mafia had that one song that had like
Yeah.
a huge thing with the penguins in Madagascar. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I wanna do something with my song, and I feel like it can do that. But yeah, no, but that's kind of the approach with that.
I'm so happy for you. I'm already. I root for you. I root for everybody, but I'm really,
Right.
really happy for you because of the fact that consistency is definitely paying off in your favor.
Yeah.
You went from your basement with all the mirrors there,
Yeah.
choreographing, doing all these dance moves and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
the journey's been long, but the journey,
Oh, yeah.
I can promise you, Adam, it's going to be very rewarding soon for you
Hmm.
due to the fact that you never gave up, even through defeat, even though groups
Yes.
didn't make it, even though, whatever challenges, right?
Right.
We know the challenges.
Oh, yeah. We
And
know.
but you just never ever actually gave up. I think you found
Mhm.
your niche, even though you want to just sing. To me personally, I love you singing in the Spanish way. I didn't know one word to it, but
Right.
I could still like ride to it because like I listen to Elvis Suavemente. That's
Oh,
my
okay.
favorite.
Elvis
That's
Presley.
my favorite
Okay.
song. That's my favorite song. So I had to like look it up, like to say what is he singing about. I know he's singing about a kiss and stuff like that, but it's
Oh,
just
right.
the whole way he's riding on it. Best I made. I tell you,
Okay.
that's like my favorite song. So
Oh,
kudos
no,
to
no, no.
you for
Listen, that's,
finding that.
you know
We
my
need
girl. So,
we need stuff like that. And so tell me a little bit about Japan. What made you go over there?
ever since I was like in high school, I've always loved the
Hmm.
culture. I've always loved, the people. I've always loved the food, the general idea. And ever since I was 15, I always wanted to go. You know.
Hmm.
Then obviously I met Mackenzie, and she speaks Japanese, and I didn't realize in Japan that half the things are in English now too. So
Hmm.
you don't need to speak Japanese to go there and feel lost. It feels a lot like home. There's a lot of places that remind you of home in
Like
DMV area.
McDonald's and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it's better for you. Like the foods that unfortunately they put inside the American foods. In Japan everything's not processed. There's no artificial. It's all really good. But I've always wanted to go. I mean, I just love the culture, how far along they are, and
Hmm.
and also another thing about Japan I've always loved is the musical sense. They really hone in, especially in R&B and hip hop. They really hone
Hmm.
into the core of what we would want over here, or the way it used to be. And there's clubs that cater to a lot of like American style music. They love American music, especially the older stuff. So just in general, it's a place I want to definitely go back every year if I can.
Hmm.
And it's just somewhere I've always wanted to be. And going with your significant other the first time, because if I went on my own, Mackenzie had been before, but I never gone. And if I
That's
didn't take
true.
her with me, she would have not let me hear the end of it.
All
You
right,
know.
all right. Shout out to Mackenzie because y'all
Yeah.
been together what
We've
5
been
years?
together for 5 years.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it was good when you go with your significant other, and
Hmm.
you know, so there's some stuff that happened. I don't want to disclose anything right now, but it was some good stuff that happened. So
That's good. That's good. Shout out to mommy in the
my
chat.
mom, you didn't meet
Hey,
her,
mom.
but you got to come back to the DMV, Sidell. We got to hit up MGM again and get you some money.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
We're
I
gonna
didn't.
do that. We'll do that soon because that was pretty fun. Got to
Yeah.
meet you and stuff like that. So
Right.
I was watching this girl that I follow on YouTube. She's a
Hmm.
big old content creator, and she went to Japan and
Okay.
she like blogged like her whole entire trip, and
Right.
she actually said the same thing you said. She shared McDonald's, she shared a whole bunch of different restaurants, and even McDonald's, they healthy. The food was totally different
Oh
from
yeah.
what we eat at this McDonald's. So yeah, they are about like healthy eating and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I agree. I'm gonna have to go over there one time. Me and sister will take a trip on over there to Japan.
And before I forget, Japan is super safe. There's you can be out there 2 in the morning. You see kids walking around the streets of Japan, and also um, I forgot to mention like Ubers and different things like that. There's so much
Mm,
different. They have company cars, and it's just a generally dope environment. Like if you and your sister got to go to a place called Roppongi, which is a city in Japan.
mm,
I was staying in I believe Shinjuku because that's where the hotel was, but kind of think of like New York Times Square, but a lot cleaner and more fun. And actually,
mm,
everything's cafe themed. But in Roppongi, it's all the clubs. And let me tell
mm.
you, Sidell, those clubs they open at 8 p.m. Right? Unlike over here where they close at 3 a.m., they close at 10 a.m. Their clubs are
What?
like all night. So it's funny because you see kids just roaming the streets of Japan
Mm-hmm,
because in Japan they block there's gun laws, there's a whole bunch of different stuff.
mm-hmm,
They only have to deal with really only minor things, really just the creepy dudes, some of them. And that's why they have like on certain times of the metro, they have female only metros for certain times.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so it's very like full on. So that's why I'm like every year I definitely want to go. And now that I've gone with Mackenzie, I can go on my own and not feel guilty if I go by myself.
Yeah. So it was only it's only males on the train at a certain time.
No,
I mean,
no, no, no,
female.
no, 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 no. So they have their obviously the unisex one where both are on there, but there's a specific time where females just have their own train for like an hour, 2 hours. So just
That's
to keep
super
it,
dope.
well, it's because of the whole creepy thing I told you.
No, I think that's super dope. I think that's
Oh
like
no, I thought you
really,
said super dope. I thought you said it's like it
no,
was cutting out.
I
No,
think
no,
that's a good
it's
thing. That's
yeah,
really, really
absolutely.
good.
I think I honestly, personally for me, as much as I love parts and aspects of our country, I will be honest. I being there made me want to be there because when I
Hmm.
when I came back, okay, when I came back, you see when you're in Japan and everything like that, you see how everything is, in the airport. It doesn't
Uh-huh.
even feel like a normal airport. People are so nice. They want to help you. Blah blah blah. Get back. I take the plane, touchdown in Chicago. Man, rude, rude, rude. I tell you, I wanted to turn back. I looked back. I was like, can I get back on the plane? Like, can I go back to Japan, please? So that's why I'm like every year I want to go.
Yeah.
Me and Mackenzie, we have plans that she's going to study for her master's, just like I got my bachelor's. She's studying for her master's in Boston, and then she's from there. We're gonna be out of here. We're gonna be going not to Japan, but going to London, which is a nice little happy medium. And then after that, where I'm going to be planning to go to at least traveling to Japan as much as
Hmm.
possible will be closer and it's be cheaper.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
for me, I don't see myself wanting to live here after the next like 2 years. Really, realistically, I'm putting some bread aside to get kind of out of here because it's cheaper when you move.
Yeah. And then you'll be super famous. So then you
Oh
go
yeah,
over
no, it
there.
won't even be
They'll
a
be
problem.
like,
I've been saved. I have
Adam,
I have my
it's
passport.
Adam.
And,
You said
yeah, I have
what?
my passport. I don't even need to worry about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Someone said she's cheering from you all the way from Texas, Adrian. So that's pretty
Yeah,
dope.
that's my mom's friend.
Oh,
Elsa.
nice, nice for you guys. So you guys hit the share button because sharing is caring, sharing is free, so we
Yeah.
can get more people in here, so people will know that Adam is definitely live. So so how many albums? So the EP it hasn't dropped yet. You just did that
No,
one
no.
song. What does the EP
So
drop for you?
the EP, so I put out the EP called Eres Todo, which is like You're My Everything. I put that out like back, I think it was like back into like December or something like that. And I put it out. It didn't reach as many people as I was hoping it would. I
Hmm.
think marketing is everything, and that's why I'm looking with my degree to get a job that can help me support that until the music pays the bills.
Yeah.
And basically, I put it out. It just I'm working on my album now. Those songs on the EP aren't going anywhere. They're going to be part of my album too, because if it's a
Hmm.
good song and it sonically fits with what I'm doing.
Hmm.
It's basically going to kind of like be a collection of music that I feel that's going to be on the album. I'm going to look to put like about 8, maybe 7 to 8 songs, on it to make it album to put my album out. Because really an album runtime, as long as it's like 35 minutes or number of songs. Um, hey Yolanda, it's basically that's sort of the approach. But I put the EP out. But it caters mostly to people. It's a select group of people, mostly like the Dominican Republic, because they listen to a lot of. It's called bachata, which is like think salsa, different instrumentation and things like that. But that's kind of I put the EP out first.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think you being able to pronounce all these words is just super cool because
Yeah.
even the Japan words, I'd have been then chopped all of that up. I don't even know that. I know I was something. We went to McDonald's. It was great. So
Oh
good on
yeah, 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 yeah,
you
yeah.
not being able to enunciate all those words because trust and believe I wouldn't. So do you see yourself like now? Do you want to just stay independent when you blow up? Because I'm speaking that into fruition for you. When you
Right.
blow up, you want to stay independent, or do you want to just be signed to like a label? Because labels is right now.
Yeah, like so to answer that kind of question, it's interesting because I have real low key. I'm not going to specifically say I had a situation with distribution deal. Didn't like it
Mhm,
too much. I think for me personally is that being independent is fine if you have the money. I think if you
mm,
yourself are the label, having the independence, working with whoever the hell you want, and just having the money. Let's just say I had $1 million right now. I would be doing
Mm-hmm.
exactly what the labels are doing. I would just personally, it would be better to find a marketing agent to market your stuff and send the money to them to the right avenues, saying like, hey, let's just say, hey, I want to do a song with, I don't know, let's just say I want to do a song with Beyonce. You know what I mean? Like Beyonce's like, I will do the record. Like Snoop Dogg, for example, does 250,000 to be on the song. He said it himself. So I want someone like Beyonce. I'll do the song for 500,000, right? Okay, cool. I have this $1 million for my label, and obviously with her brand recognition, it will blow up with her fan base. So it's like having the money to be the label. So yeah, I would
Mm-hmm.
primarily stay independent. I didn't really like being a part of a label as much as I thought I would. And also, unfortunately, being hungry and eager, you don't really understand if they don't have the funding to do anything. It's
Right.
not worth it because it's like, what am I signed to a label for when you don't even have money?
Exactly. I mean, y'all both struggling together. Hello.
Yeah,
What
no, it's
you think
like
that
trust me,
is?
and I've dealt with my fair share of clowns, and I'm just
Mm,
like I'm done with
yeah.
working.
Well, all of that, everybody, everything that we go through in life is a learning lesson to prepare
Yeah.
us for where we should be going. So we'll have wisdom, we'll have knowledge and discernment. You know, when things happen to me in the past, it makes
Mhm.
me make my discernment be on fleek to say,
Yeah.
nope, I see it
Uh-huh.
coming, and you won't get me again. Trust and believe that.
Absolutely.
But I feel like if you can just now to have it on maybe like TikTok or something like that, do you have to have did you check into like the licensing? Because I know that I believe it's what Sony that no longer has they people on it, but I believe independent artists could be
Yes.
to where you can be on TikTok. Did you tap into like trying to get more licensing for like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, things
Yeah,
like that?
because the guy I'm featured on, he released it under his label essentially, which
Mm-hmm.
is Vixen Studios. He basically has the power due to his relationships and everything he's built. His service or whatever he uses to upload, I think he uses DistroKid, has access to every single avenue you can think of, from the TikToks to the Instagram, where I would have issues before. And people fail to realize when you're uploading music and if you have the syncing, just like you said, if someone's playing your video, it counts as a stream because people have to understand there's under factors into it when your song, if someone's playing your video and your song is playing, you are getting a stream and things like that. It
Mm-hmm.
just takes, obviously streaming takes a long time to build up revenue, but I'm saying that yes, so as far as that question, it's syncing for all the platforms. Yes.
Yeah. So share with me again if you can, and then I'll just make all kind of videos with you playing in the background. I
Sure.
really like this song. So, long as they not muting it or as long as they saying
Yeah.
you
No, they
don't
can't.
have the rights to it, all of that's
Mhm.
starting to get on my nerves too. You don't have the
Right.
rights, they muting. You could put the simplest things up and you done
Yeah.
violated this. It's more violations than it is posted. I'm like, good Lord, come on
Right.
already. You gotta
No.
start your own platform.
Right. And
But
uh
share with me. I'll share it. I'll make sure I'll use it in my
I
next.
appreciate it. And definitely go on my page and I posted it there so you can share with other links. And actually, the only Achilles heel to having the song released right now, which is it's a good thing, but when I want to put it on my album, you have to go deal with this song released before, and then it will get copyright striked and a whole bunch of stuff, which I get, but it's a whole thing you have to kind of go through when you're re-releasing songs on your album and things like that. So that's why some artists will take the songs down, not that one, but they'll take their songs down because they don't want to have to deal with that and then put it on one project. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to release it twice.
Yeah. So do you after the EP you're gonna work on an album or you just gonna push
I
like for everybody who don't know maybe what an EP is, it's
right.
just an electronic like a digital way for people to know here I am. This is me.
Yes.
Like you put it's not like a bunch of songs, but it's just
It's
enough
few. It's
to get
like small.
it, yeah, it's really small so people can get to know I'm
Right.
here, I'm out here. I'm trying to
Right.
get people to notice me without putting so much time in the studio making a
Right.
whole full album. You at least want people to know
Right.
who you are first, right?
Right.
And then you start working on the album. So the
Right.
EP, you want it to be out for how long before you start working on your album, or are you already working on that?
Well, so obviously you have a few battles here you got to deal with. You got to deal with finances. You got to deal with if you're not good at writing songs. Like I'm okay. I'm getting a lot better at my craft writing, but I still want to work with songwriters because I still
Mhm,
feel if you look at even your favorite artist like Fantasia, she has songwriters with her. I mean, there's a whole
mhm,
bunch of nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is that it's about time. So for me, as far as the album release, I want to put the album out when I have the song number of what I'm looking for. For me, I think I go for quality versus quantity. I don't want to put like, there's some artists, like I love Chris Brown, but even Chris Brown, sometimes I tell him like, boy, you need to trim that album down, because like it's like Bruno Mars did it the best out of anybody. He does like 9 recently, because he does 9 songs per album.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes he'll have 8, and I feel like for me, I want to do 7 or 8 songs, and I believe I'm almost there. And there is a specific record I can't wait to talk to you about today on Saturday that I am recording, and it's a huge announcement I want to make here on the platform with you. But we'll get to that in a second.
Hmm.
But as far as the album is concerned, yes, that is the focus I want to do. As soon as I get the right amount of songs. And even getting an introduction piece, which I already have, can count as a song. It just depends on. I just want the amount, and I have my English version of one of my songs, so that will also be a bonus track on there. So I'm planning on putting at least 7 to 8 songs.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's some good stuff there. You guys hit the share button, because sharing is caring and sharing is free. Let's get Adam. Think we should have at least a good amount of shares here, even if you got to share twice. Share to some groups. Just share so Adam's name can get out.
Yes,
So
please.
I think that working on quality over quantity, I always work like that. So
Yes.
kudos to you for saying that, because everybody thinks that it's just the so many that you have to do, when if you put your
Hmm.
time and your effort in just a few, right, or some good ones, then it would
Right.
make sense that people would want to listen to it, instead of just launching songs just to launch them, and then they don't make no sense, and
Right.
ain't
Oh
nobody
my God.
really want to listen to them.
And I was gonna mention, I've said this before. I spit this game to one of my friends who does hip hop music. He's a really dope hip hop artist. But the problem I had with him is that he would constantly back to back. He'd release songs or singles like literally every single time. I'm like, bro, if you're gonna put out 3 songs back to back, just do one song and promote the EP. Don't
Hmm.
do one at a time, because that, to me, when you do single after single after single instead of a whole project, it says to me that you're not confident in your product, because you feel like, oh, this song's great, oh, this song's good. And I know you want to do it like that because you kind of have this
Hmm.
sort of SoundCloud background, and
Hmm.
SoundCloud you can do it that way in a way, but that makes no sense as an artist. Yes, you want to put all your music out, but if you have a bunch of material, put it as an album, figure out the best songs. Because what I do is like, it's a quality over quantity. So I'll go in the studio and record, but I know I want to go in the mindset this song is going to be on my album, because you always have to have that mindset. Because if it's on the album, that means it's quality of what you're doing. And another thing I want to mention too, on my album, all my stuff, all my productions are produced exclusively. So
Hmm.
I don't do lease beats. I don't do none of that, because it's like, okay, perfect example. I like to use this example. It's like back in the day, right? You date somebody, right? Like your friend was dating, and they kissed them and they kissed them, and it's like, it feels gross. And I'm like, I'm not doing this a beat that everybody touched. I'm like, that's just nasty. Like, it's just
Hmm.
no.
I think why they do that is because then it would catch more. Like my dad's track been sampled 48 times.
Oh yeah,
And
I
I
know.
think I think it's just because people would think that, oh, people would hear it and then people would want to listen to what I have going on.
Hmm.
But just like my dad sat in the studio with him and everybody, all the live instruments, and produced that one song, I kind of feel how you would want to do your own, just like somebody, whoever
Right.
created the first track that everybody is sampling, then at the end of the day created the first track that everybody's sampling, if that makes
Sure.
any sense.
Sure.
So
And I don't mind. No, no, no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. I was gonna say that I agree with you. I agree with you. Like sampling the songs or whatever the case may be, but creating your own that's gonna be memorable, just like my father's, is kudos to you, because
Hmm.
then other people be using yours, and now you're getting paid instead of paying something. Because whoever used my father's track, BMI, even though may he rest in peace, may his soul rest in peace,
Right.
BMI is still sending a check to his house, right? Because
Right.
people used it.
Right. And it's just, I always tell people, for me, I mean, look, sampling is old as time. I mean, even going back to like SWV, like that song right here, obviously Michael Jackson approved that, and they gave the stems. Hi, Freddie. They gave the stems to SWV with the vocals, tracks, and stuff. And then think about it this way: Chris Brown sampled that version, which also we obviously sampled. So Michael Jackson's estate got a little piece of a check. So yeah, and it's cool to sample. That's not. I don't have a problem with the sampling. I think that's cool, if as long as the beat around it is majority original. I'm
Right,
not
right.
talking about like oh, it's like a beat that is the same beat. Like I just can't
Mm-hmm.
stand that. That's why hip hop has that issue with the whole trap sound and everything sounds
Mm-hmm.
the same. There's still been that
Everything
problem.
sounds the same.
I've I've harped on that too much already.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So you might, no, I'm not a write good, right? Well, I'll help you write something because I feel like I can help you write because I can relate to what you're talking about. Even when you
Hmm.
sing in English, I can relate to
Right.
what you're talking about. So you might can
Right.
send me something, and I might get my juices flowing for you,
Oh,
and
but
then
you're
send it
creative.
back and send it back
I
over to
know
you.
I know you can write. You told me. I never even thought about reaching out to you because I know you used to write all the time and you were in the remember you were in the I think it was the writers camp. I forgot for who it was. Was it for R. Kelly? Oh yeah, that was before all that craziness.
Yeah, so I wrote for R. Kelly we locked in and then we wrote off a Superman High, but he picked the Juice Jones guy and it's
Okay.
all political and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, yeah, words just come to you. If you're a writer, you're a writer. And I would
Right.
just say that keep writing. You guys hit the share button because sharing is caring,
Yes.
sharing is free. Um, I think that the more you do it, never say that something is you're not great at it because the
Hmm.
more you do it, the more words will come to you, and you
Right.
might be surprised. It could be the simplest things that you was like, you know what, I wrote this for myself, and then that'll be your number one hit. So
Oh
we
yeah.
never know what could be our hit because some of the simplest songs is like one hit wonder.
Hmm.
Like not one hit wonders for certain people. If they kept going with the writer juices, like Sunshine Anderson. I love the way she sings, but
Mm.
if she kept going on the same path or the same lane, beat the sun. It's not a whole wordy song that she got going on there.
Right.
It's just the hook. If whoever was managing her or producing her kept her on that same kill of what made her popular, I think
Right.
she would have. I think she would have just had a long-term longevity in the music business, and it's a lot of one hit wonders that I believe is really, really good, but
Hmm.
they just didn't keep going on the same path that they took.
Right.
They tried something
They
different and then it flopped. So
right.
I think that keep writing and keep doing what you're doing. I can just see you going really, really good places and never worry about finances. I really wanted to, yeah, I think you said that about 3 times in our conversation. And I just want to give you some advice because that's what I'm going to do because I love you like
Mhm.
that. I
I know.
think that if God gives you the vision, He's going to give you the provision.
Mhm.
So do
Oh.
not worry about where your finances is going to come from to get studio time. Don't worry about these things. Just be like,
Mhm.
God, this is what I got right now. I need
Right.
to put this album out, this EP or whatever.
Mhm.
Allow it to come from the north, south, east, and west. I don't know where the finances is coming from, but you have me here because you're
Mhm.
still here out of everybody. I don't know what nobody else is doing. You're still here for a reason. So don't worry about finances. Allow him to worry about the finances and you tap into the gift that he gave you,
Right.
which is being on your creative side,
And
singing and doing what you
right.
were born to do.
And Sidell, to chime in on that, I've said this before because, and I know, what you said is true. And I've always had this mentality when it comes to music, even like the way, if you think about the way Tupac was when he kept making music and unfortunately he's no longer here. I look at it like this: at the end of the day, no matter what, in this physical world, all these houses and all these cars and everything, none of that comes with you. But what you want to do is leave something behind. So, okay, look, you could stress out about money all day, but what is important to me is the music and making the
Mm-hmm.
music and making an impact. So if I can leave records behind and I'm gone, anything can happen every day. So
That's right.
what I'm saying is, yes, okay, do I have the finances to actually go in the studio all the time? No, but I'm gonna do it anyways, regardless. Because if I, at the end of the day, is this paper gonna come with me? Are these bills gonna come with me? No, because at the end of the day, people are so nervous, and that's why a lot of people don't try to pursue their dreams because they're always worried about the money. And I'm
Mm,
like, and look, I understand. Sometimes a song can take a while before it gets picked up, and but at the end of the day, you keep at it, and even if the finances is a struggle, I'm still going to keep making music even no matter what the situation is.
that's
If
right.
I can make music, if I can make music once every 2 months or once every 3 weeks, you know what I mean. And that's why, like, I'm so adamant about it. Like, okay, cool, pool extra money that maybe I didn't really have, but I'm going to do it anyways because I'm passionate about what I make. And unless you're
Mm,
in the field or in the creative world, you don't understand. And a lot of people
that's
don't,
right.
are scared to pursue what they want to do because they're like, oh, financially I can't do it, or I can't do this, or I can't go there. But at the end of the day, what's more important to you? You being stressed, or do you having fun and having a good time? So my whole thing is like, while you're here for this brief period of time, if you're
Mm-hmm.
here lucky, if you're lucky to live to be the age of some people being in their hundreds, you know what I mean, which is amazing.
That
Um,
is.
and even and like recently, you should look it up. Eddie Murphy recently had a really good thing he posted about if you're lucky to be 70 something years old. I'm sure you maybe saw it when he was walking through like a studio or something. And he said
Mm-mm.
something people have, you should look it up. It's really powerful. He said you only have 70 years on this planet to do something if you're lucky. So go be there, go be a go-getter, do this, do that. Because I feel like what he said is true. Because some people don't. I mean, there's a lot of people I graduated high school with that aren't even alive anymore.
Mm.
And it's just, and that's only a 10-year gap. So I'm just saying you
Mhm.
make a valid point on that.
Right. Well, scared money don't make money.
Oh my God, that's I love that
It
phrase.
just doesn't. It just doesn't. Scared
Yeah.
money don't make no money,
Oh my
and
God.
you gotta go out there and jump like Steve Harvey say. I
Mhm.
think kudos to him for saying that and making that clip because we only granted 70 years, right? So
Yeah.
anything plus 70 years, we're living beyond the time allotted for us. So I think that if you could do whatever your passion is, like Sister says, it's your passion and you would
Hmm.
do it for free.
Right.
Regardless if you had to go out and perform in the train
Hmm.
station or whatever you got to do, you're going to do it with all diligence because of the fact that that's your gift, that's your passion, and it
Hmm.
your gifts will make room for you. That's what the word of God says. Your gift will make rooms for you. So I don't worry about, I got the seasoning company. I don't really worry about where the finances have come from to order stuff because of the fact that he's been supplying all every need that I need because of the fact that he gave me the vision to create it, just like he created Adam with the gift of singing, where Adam, see, a lot of people don't know your story, Adam, but I
Right.
do, right? A lot of
Right.
people don't know that you was there sending all these videos and went from just a lot of different practices that you have to have, catch your
Right.
tune. So you joined the church, singing and this,
Hmm.
that, and the other. And I can guarantee you, if I don't hear him saying it, it's gonna pay off for Adam. It's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
pay off for Adam, and Adam has to give the finances to me
Right.
and allow Adam to be Adam because
Right.
and I'll take this to my grave. You're here still standing for a reason.
Right. And
I believe.
I really appreciate that. More than anything, I really genuinely treasure the fact that you're still here with me and rocking with me. And I know we hadn't talked in a while. Because I honestly, even after that whole situation back in the day, I'm glad that no matter what, out of all those other people, I always stuck to the course and what I wanted to do. No matter all the people saying what they
That's
wanted to
right.
say, and say all the negative things and try to bring me down and all these other things, I still stuck with what I wanted to do because at the end of the day, you know, in general in life.
Uh-oh. Hang on, y'all. He'll come back and then I'll bring him back up. You guys hit the share button. We are live. So Adam got kicked off, but when he comes back on, I'll bring him back up. But make sure y'all hit the share button. Y'all go and take your time out to follow Adam, follow his music career, follow his path, listen to his music because the Spanish song and his music is really, really good. And I'm gonna make sure I share it everywhere. But let's make sure that we can get him. Let me reply back to him because he said he got kicked out. Hang on for a minute. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure we get Adam back in the building. So while we wait for Adam to come back, I do own a seasoning company. It's called Millie Seasoning. It's flavored done the old-fashioned way. I have garlic and herbs, seafood seasoning, an all-purpose occasion, and a flour. You can head on over to millieseasoning.com and pick you up a bottle, save 10% at checkout. Use code SAVE10. That's Millie Seasoning. Everything in one bottle, flavored done the old-fashioned way. Your taste buds will thank me later. Welcome back, Adam.
Yeah, I don't
Sometimes
know
when
what's
we
the internet.
it's,
Internet's
it's
the
it's
internet.
okay. It's okay. The enemy does that to me pretty pretty often when we
Oh my
having
God.
certain conversations, and he knows that we're on the right path or we're talking on the right path. He make people disappear, come back,
Right.
but we rebuke him. So if you had to, I always just ask two questions, and I'm gonna ask you the first one. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Okay, so in 5 years, personally, and this is just me, I speak everything into existence. I see myself being on, definitely doing tours. I do see myself being constantly on the road doing music,
Mm-hmm.
constantly making music, being able to make music, and even if it's just in the studio, having that one big hit, just keep making music and continue to be passionate about what I love to do, but what having to worry about having to say, hey, I got to wake up and go to my 9 to 5, but when my 9 to 5 is the music. So that's where I see myself in 5 years, you know, and
Yeah.
I see myself being married too, I mean, have that part of that into my aspect and my avenue of life. And
Mhm.
that's where I would see myself in 5 years as far as what I believe.
Right now, is there any particular person that you would love to work with?
Oh my God. Like, okay, so I love my 90s. I've always said a few names, gotten close. Hasn't happened, transpired yet. John B for sure. I really
Mm.
want to work with him. Babyface. Just the pioneers of R&B. Bobby Brown, of course. You know that for a
Well,
fact.
you love Bobby Brown.
Oh my God, you have no idea. I mean, I met him finally.
Yeah, yeah, I know you. I
I met
remember.
that was to me was I literally was like shaking because without him I wouldn't want to be doing the music. I mean, Michael Jackson too, but Bobby Brown was the reason I do the music. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's fact. I mean, but I that would be the case of artists I would love to work with. I know they're much older set, but for me it just kind of like it speaks to me more volumes. It's more personal than
Mm-hmm.
anything. Of course, as far as like new artists, I mean, I can't really think of anybody that other than okay, new artist, I'll take that back. It's Tyla. I would like to work with her, and that's only
Oh, okay.
because I feel personally it gives me her vocals, and I feel like my vocals just because they are in that sort of
Mm-hmm.
lighter end of things. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it would fit good on some music. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny when you think about it, right? When you think of these artists, like before they become successful, they were so easily accessible before they blew up. So it's kind of like if you knew about them, like if I knew she was a thing, like 3 years ago, I probably could have contacted her then to work, but I didn't know who
True.
she was. Now it's like
Yeah,
impossible. So that's how
yeah,
you're successful.
yeah. Bobby Brown is really, really down to earth. I hung out with him before. He's really, really nice. He's personable, and
When?
when
Yeah,
Studio
90s.
54 was closing, so this is right before he launched My Prerogative. So
Oh snap! So
that was,
80s.
yeah, that was a long time ago. So
Oh man, I
me and
know.
a lot
I
of people.
know.
So
I know because I saw your picture with Michael Bivins, so I know that because you were all cuddled up with Michael Bivins. When let me tell you, Michael Bivins had the style, and I could see like while the girls were going crazy for Michael Bivins.
basically when we were back in the because my dad took us to the hotel to meet New Edition,
Okay.
and we were all the girls unfortunately was feeling Ralph back then,
Um.
and we went to the store with Bobby Brown. True story. We went
Okay.
to the store with Bobby Brown, and he was like, he held his hand on one of our knees, on the other knee, and he said, "Y'all probably think Ralph is the cutest," and we was like, "Well, you don't look that bad, because it was popcorn, we were young,
Okay.
we had like little curls in our hair and everything like that. When they opened
Mhm.
the door, they was just as young because we we're all around the same age, but because I even hung with hanging around Ricky every now and then.
Okay.
And I think that they always been so personable. They always been
Mhm.
really, really down to earth, never cocky or arrogant. So if
Right.
I believe if you was to get to meet him again and you could tap his brain, or I really believe he would like
Right.
listen to the songs and stuff like that.
Right. Really sit down. Actually, not have a quick meet and greet. I'm talking like
Yeah,
having the real sit down conversations with
yeah,
him because I feel like for me, it's a lot deeper than a lot of other people realize. Like people can be fans, but when someone really has the music, because listen, I'm one of like the hardcore Bobby fans because I've listened to all the albums, even the ones that
mm,
people don't really listen to, like Forever and King of Stage. And even the
mm,
masterpiece, like those are the albums no one really likes to acknowledge. Like they'll acknowledge "Don't Be Cruel" and they'll acknowledge the Bobby
Mhm.
album, but they don't acknowledge the other ones, which have really good deep cuts. So I'm like, for me, I actually am one of the few people that actually genuinely loves all the music that he does, and it's just a shame on
Mm.
where his career. I felt like the projection could have gone. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
but that's a
Mhm.
whole other thing that I get. That's
Yeah.
how I wrote a whole paper on Bobby Brown
That's
back
crazy.
back in college.
That's crazy. You love him for real. You love him like I
Yeah.
love Fantasia.
Oh my
Even
God.
though I
Yeah.
got to meet Fantasia, and I'm not really starstruck, probably because we done met we met a lot of people, me and sister. Okay,
Right.
but the
Right.
day I got to meet her in the airport, I was like, oh my god. I made her even jump because it was like, but I literally manifested Fantasia to meet Fantasia because I love
Uh huh.
Fantasia just that much. And I still do. I feel like we can relate. I love her story. I love her background. And I love how she loves people and she don't love mean people. If you ask her
Mm.
something that she don't like, she doesn't like mean people. So I could see why she stopped in that airport, her and her, and held a nice conversation with me. She even shared my book and her story. So kudos. When you become famous, Adam, always remain humble. You know what I mean? Even if
Yeah.
you're tired or whatever the case would be, because I'd have met some snooty industry people like
Oh.
hello, you're here because of
Oh
us. What
no.
what
I
you
know.
do
I
you
have some
for?
sort. Listen, I have stories to tell you off camera that I have met. Never meet your heroes, because trust me, it's disheartening in ways on how these people. It's like, you're so passionate about your what you do, and you just love talking about music, and it's just some people are like, this is what I do. I don't want to talk about them. Like, but that's what I love to talk about. Like, I mean, I'm being genuine. I'm not trying to be like I'm trying to get a trying to just get a handout. I'm just like I genuinely want to do like being genuine, and it's just kind of like
Mhm.
people. Some people are just like have some they I guess because they feel like they've been in the industry so long that some people are like, and then they also it's the deal with the situation where they're like they had people help them, but now they don't want to have help anybody else, and it's kind of like
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
you
But
feel
hey,
like okay, really? Just,
yeah.
but
Now you got to keep in mind that 2024 is the year of exposing. He's been exposing a lot of people.
I
So
know.
who you think maybe is an idol that, that's why it says idol don't worship and idol anyone.
Right.
Because of the fact that when you worship and idol somebody, you get your feelings hurt after
Mhm.
things come out and they ain't who you even thought they was. So,
Mhm.
always remain humble when you become, and I think that you're entering into the music business at the right time because it's
Right.
chaotic for the older people, some of them,
Right.
not all of them. And then what you're entering in is a great time to because they looking for fresh new people with new
Right.
sounds and stuff. So because everybody else is going through the drama. So I got my
Right.
second question for you.
Yes.
So if you had to, because we wind down, we got about another 10 minutes, 12 minutes,
Right.
something like that. If you had to inspire someone, it doesn't have to be about music. It doesn't have to be about, what would you say to someone to inspire them to what word of encouragement would you give?
I say the most important thing, two things I would really say to that answer that question. I'd say number one, no matter what anybody says, you always got to never give up at all. You know what I mean? Even if things look bad and people say the nasty things that they say, because at the end of the day, not everybody's gonna like you regardless. I mean,
That's
there's
right.
famous artists that people say that they can't sing or whatever. That's number one, and then number two, just like if someone's offering you something, don't assume just because someone says and it sounds too good to be true, don't necessarily mean it's not. Just make sure you have good people around you to vet them out. Don't be hungry like I was and spend a few thousand here and a few thousand there and just kind of be like nothing transpires from it. And it's just kind of like don't be a sucker, but also don't assume some people have bad motives. Assume that
Mm,
sometimes things do cost money. I mean, they do. If you want that feature, you want this, you do have to pay money, but just make sure that they're up and up with what they do. Because, at the end of the day, some people won't charge you that are up there,
mm-hmm,
but,
mm-hmm,
that's the best piece of advice I could personally give. I mean, because at the end of the day, you don't know who's legitimate and who's not. But before I forget, before we end, because I know we have 10 more minutes, but I did have a big announcement I do want to make on here, but I'll let you say anything else that you were going to say
all
because I
right,
don't
what's
want to.
your announcement? This
Okay.
your
All right.
you my
So,
guest.
okay. So, because I want to respect your show, that's just what it
No,
is.
it's
But
okay.
so the thing, I'm wiping my hands, so I'm really excited. Now, how we met was through a group situation. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out. But I was so adamant about wanting to do a group, so I put an R&B group together with my writers.
Okay.
So I don't have a name yet. We're working on the name because every name I come up with, it sounded cool. And I actually, at first, I was thinking of a name called Quality Time because I was like, that was a high five song and kind of like what Boys to Men did with the song
Uh-huh.
with, yeah, but that wasn't a good name. My friend tried to come up with names, wasn't feeling all of them. But once, because my friend Daquan, you probably know Daquan because I've mentioned him. He's part of my group. He's an amazing
Mm-hmm.
vocalist, has that really nice, gruff, like kind of Michael Jackson, but kind of a weird mix between that, Usher, and a whole bunch of different people.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you that really good grit, kind of think of like, I guess, Jodeci, JoJo, or
Yeah.
like kind of like. But the point is, I've always wanted to put a group together. That's what I've always wanted to be. I always felt like I was good for a unit. So on my album, I'm just kind of like what Justin Timberlake did, getting his group back together for his album. I'm doing the same thing for me doing the testing the waters, with there's not really a lot of male groups that are my age that want to do music, that want to do, because a lot of them just
Mm-hmm.
want to solo. And I'm kind of approaching it like, you remember TGT, the Tank Genuine and Tyrese when they did a
Oh
group.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, the
they're all
featuring
solo
of
artists, and I'm a solo
mm-hmm.
artist too. But I feel like I would love to do a group. And so the idea right now, the plan is we cut the song, and then we're gonna do a Christmas song, and then we'll see how it does. And if the demand's there, I'll keep making more music with my people that I have that I genuinely care. Because my friend Anthony, has a nice bass voice. I have a nice little middle voice. My friend Daquan, I want to make him the lead, but we're gonna do a lot of harmonies as groups too, because I feel like it would be a good open market. Daquan always
Mm-hmm.
goes to the UK to perform, and they love groups. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like for me, it would just be something that'd be for fun to add to my album. And just for me, it's something I've always wanted to have happen, you know? And I feel like, well, and that's actually another thing I wanted to talk to you, Sidell. We could definitely talk off camera about it. But, back then you were really adamant with me wanting to help me do stuff. So, I mean, we definitely should, tap in again and we could talk about stuff. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah,
think
I'm gonna help you, but I'm not managing anyone.
no, no, I'm not asking to manage. I said just based off your
Uh,
connections. No, I'm not
yeah,
talking
I
to
can help you.
not management. I'm not asking
Okay,
that.
yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah.
No, 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 no,
Catch me.
no,
You
no,
should catch me about 30 when I was in my 30s. I can't. I
no,
ain't
no,
got
no,
the
no,
energy.
no. We
But
we already we already went through that. No,
I definitely will help you.
no,
I'm just a phone call away from you. If
right,
I know, I don't know where to find all these industry people and stuff at, and
right,
they might not even want to be found right now, all the old heads
sure,
compared to what everything is going on. But if I'm a phone call away with any kind of advice, I'm always there for you.
yeah,
I'm just a
no.
phone call away.
I
But
just passing the records around and sending it to people that that might know people is what matters to me more. And
mm,
honestly, that group record I'm going to work on Saturday, and hopefully we can get it done. I mean, these things take time, but I mean, the good thing is it's a song, and real quick about it, it's a song that I had recorded on my own.
mhm,
But I was planning on putting it out, but then I kept listening to it, and I felt like it wasn't done the way I was. It was rushed a little bit, and it wasn't done the way I wanted it to be done. So I was like, I'm gonna re-record it. But before I do that, let me ask and see if my friends want to be a part of something that I
we got
would like.
Daryl. We
Hey,
got
Daryl.
Daryl in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, bro, what's
and
good?
it's something that I feel like I wanted to cut as a group. So that
Mhm.
was the plan, and that's the execution of how I want to attack it.
I think
And
that's
if
gonna
it
be good.
works,
I
it
think it's
works.
gonna be good. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out
Yeah,
really good.
and trust me, the ideas on how I want it to work out, I
Mhm.
think would be really cool. And I think that with the voices, because I've harmonized with them individually before, but
Mhm.
hearing it together in my head,
Mhm.
because sometimes you hear something in your head, you're like, yeah, it's gonna sound good, but then
Yeah.
when it gets on tape, like you don't
You
know.
be
So
like, this
I,
is
I'm
a bad.
I'm confident. I'm confident that it will work, just because if everybody is musical and has knows parts and stuff, because singing harmonies on your own and then singing with a group is entirely different. So like, and I'm
That's true.
excited when we can do this again, and then I'll let you listen to that
Mhm.
record, and we'll do more of
Yeah.
these because you're doing a podcast game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now, so y'all all in the same location, so that'll be good for you, right? Aren't y'all all in
yes,
the
we're
same
we're
location?
so we're in the DMV, and I kind of made a conscious decision to be kind to them on their
Mhm.
gas.
Mhm. Oh, well, we done lost Adam again. You guys hang on. He'll pop back in. You hit the share button because sharing is caring and sharing is free. And while we wind down, we got about another 5 minutes. I'll make sure he'll share his link so y'all can check out his new song on all major platforms. Y'all go and vibe to it. It's a really good Spanish vibe. I'm loving it. And I got a good ear for music. So I think it's a really, really great song. And when he pop back in, I'll make sure that he shares the links. You guys make sure that y'all hit the follow and follow me. Head on over to my YouTube platform and follow me on YouTube to where you can go ahead and subscribe because I need to get my subscribers up. So I'll put the YouTube link in there. After we're done, I need you to put all your links to your music so people can know where to find you at. Go ahead.
Where do you want me to put that? Do you want to put the links in before I finish up? But do you want me to put them in the Facebook, or do you want me to put them on YouTube?
No, you will put it in this chat.
Right in this chat. Okay. Yeah, let me do that because I can talk at the same time. You can hear me, right?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So
you guys make sure y'all follow Adam. Y'all make sure y'all come and subscribe and check out everybody that I be having on here. The reason why I started this podcast is because I interviewed a whole bunch of different entrepreneurs, and I want everybody to know if they could do it, you could do it too. So if you have a passion and a dream, it's never too old to go for it. Don't just jump. Don't worry about any naysayers in your ear saying you too old for this and all of that other stuff. Because you just never know what your gifts and your talents that definitely make room for you. Like I said, you good, Adam? You put it in there?
I'm trying. I posted it. It wouldn't let me post the actual
No, but after you come off, it's good. After you come off. You come off. So let everybody again know where they can find you at. Let everybody know again what's the name of your new single that just dropped, and then Adam put the links before we get up off.
Sure. So to kind of to find me first, you can find me on my Instagram at adamm.am_official. You can find me there. The name of the song is Contigo. And when you look me up, you have to do Contigo featuring Adam, ADDAM, not A. You guys can find me on all platforms. So.
Right. So that's Adam with 2 D's, guys. That's basically what he's saying. Make sure you put the 2 D's in there for Adam.
And Sidell, real quick before it cut me off because I don't want to lose my train of thought. As far as the situation with the studio, we're recording at in Annapolis because it was a lot closer to them. It's a halfway point for all 3 of us.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
it made more sense to do it that way, and it's a 4-hour block. So in 4 hours, if you have competent singers in the room, you can get it done, especially because the song is already essentially finished, like been written before and everything. So it's just really simply, let's do some harmonies, get the lead singer to do what he does. We do our harmonies and we knock it out. And it's really easy to do that. Like the goal for me personally, being a 4-hour block, traditionally, if we can, I would like to get the song recorded in about an hour and 30 minutes. And then the mixing and the mastering can be done, because then most of the time, you want to get the song recorded and knock that out quick, so you can do the mixing. The engineering is where you want them to spend the most time. And because I'm so passionate.
We lost Adam again, y'all. It's almost time to end it anyway. But let's let Adam finish his thoughts. I don't know why his service is acting a little nervous. But you guys make sure y'all set your notifications to follow me on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like clockwork. I interview some amazing entrepreneurs on what got them started, what keeps them motivated in the industry. I'll go ahead and put the YouTube link up here so you guys can go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'm telling him to come back. And then I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I'll put his link in the chat right here because he just shared it to me. And this is his link right here, guys. So you guys make sure that y'all go and check out Adam's new song. And let's see. This is not a drill. This is his song right here. And let's bring it back on before we drop. We got
real quick. Sidell, how do I copy the link?
I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay, thank you. Because I was like, I can't do it.
I'll put it in there.
Okay. Good. I was like,
so Adam, I love you. love you so much. I thank you for joining on here. I wish you nothing but success, prosperity, abundance, overflow. I wish all your dreams to come true. Your hard work is definitely going to pay off. Your consistency is going to make sure that it pays off for you. Congratulations on putting
Thank you.
together a group. Congratulations on still being with Mackenzie because she's still so beautiful.
Yes.
And you guys going to school. Y'all got 2 more years, and then y'all will travel abroad. I'm happy
Yes.
for you. You guys make that you guys hit the button, the link after we done here. Check out his new song. Go to his YouTube, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button because that's how you tell the algorithm to keep following Adam and send more people to his YouTube channel so more people can listen to the song. I love the song, and I think and I know for sure everybody else is. So hang out with me while I go ahead and end this live. I thank you for coming. Please tell your mother, hug your mother, matter of fact.
Oh yeah.
Tell your mother and your parents I said hi. I thank you for coming. We'll chat offline like tomorrow or so. Matter of fact, call me on the weekend because I don't work on the weekends and we could chat, okay? And talk about what you got going on. I love you so much, Adam, and I thank you. Oh, this mama, she's still here.
Yeah,
thank
she
you,
is.
Mama. Thank you. You're welcome. You guys make sure y'all set your notifications. Set your notifications and join me every Tuesday, okay? I am the host, Sidell B. This is Let's Talk About It. That is Adam with 2 D's. So you guys go and follow Adam. Listen to his music. If you follow him, then you'll know each and every time he drops a new song out. But let's support the one he has out again, that he has out right now. It's gonna take a village to get his name out. It's gonna take a village to get the song going and everything like that. It's a great song, and I wish you nothing but the best with it. And we are out of here, guys. It's been real. Peace. Y'all guys hit the share button before I end this live, and let's rock out. Bye.
All right. Bye.